LeBron, to me, is top 2 all time. Now, if you disagree, you disagree. Where I get annoyed is when somebody's acting like I'm hating or disrespecting. Let me tell you something about Michael Jordan. He's going to be brutally honest.
The NBA isn't what it used to be. Some call it progress, others call it decline. But one thing is certain, Michael Jordan, the most powerful voice in basketball history, is preparing to speak. And Stephen A. Smith warns that when he does, the league will feel the shockwaves. In 2025, Jordan isn't lacing up his sneakers. He's stepping into the spotlight to talk, to challenge, and to expose. His target? The cultural and competitive damage Stephen A. insists has been fueled by LeBron James. Stephen A. has been blunt, but he makes it clear Jordan will be even harsher. Forget politics. Forget carefully crafted narratives to sell sneakers or TV ratings. Jordan built the NBA into a global empire, and now is coming back with nothing to lose and everything to reveal. Fans, former players, even media insiders say the league has lost its edge, softened, commercialized, stripped of its pride. Jordan represents an era defined by toughness, intensity, and unshakable competitiveness. His words will cut through the noise, and at the center of his truth will be the seismic shift that began with LeBron James.
Let me tell you something about Michael Jordan. He's going to be brutally honest.
Stephen A. keeps driving the point home. When Michael Jordan speaks in 2025, he won't hold back. That's a nightmare for today's players, coaches, and executives. For years, Jordan has voiced his frustrations privately, but the moment he chooses to go public, it signals one thing: he's ready to shake the NBA to its core. This isn't bitterness, and it isn't nostalgia. It's about protecting the soul of the game from becoming too soft, too scripted, too far from its true identity. Stephen A. doesn't just hint at it, he doubles down. Jordan will be raw, unfiltered, and brutally honest. And when the greatest of all time lays bare how far his league has drifted, it won't sound like commentary. It will feel like a wake-up call.
Jordan, I know, when talking basketball, he is as candid as it gets.
Stephen A. takes it a step further. If Jordan even thinks about holding back, he vows to be the one pushing him to let it all out. Stephen doesn't want to reserve Jordan. He wants the unfiltered legend, the voice the NBA desperately needs. Jordan's return isn't about box scores or highlight reels. It's about tearing into the culture itself. And Stephen A. makes it clear, if Jordan hesitates, he'll be right there reminding him of what's at stake. This isn't just banter between two icons, it's a mission. Both men know the league has lost something vital. The toughness, the rivalries, the intimidation that once defined the game. And Stephen A. points to one turning point above all, the moment LeBron James took his talents to Miami. That decision didn't just change his career. It altered the entire DNA of the NBA.
And I don't think that he's going to be shy about saying what he sees at all. For a fact, if he is, he's going to have to deal with me because I'm going to be in his ear telling him, oh, we getting shy now. But that's what we do. That's what we do. That ain't the one. That ain't the MJ I know.
In one of the most cutting parts of the debate, Stephen A. admits LeBron James damaged the league, but he digs deeper into why. It wasn't only about creating a super team. It was about the death of competition's true spirit. When LeBron left Cleveland to join Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami, it wasn't just a career choice, it was a cultural shift. The mindset of an entire generation of players changed overnight. The goal was no longer to conquer the best, but to stand beside them. Rivalries lost their bite. The drive to dominate through loyalty and sheer work began to fade. Michael Jordan embodied an era of building greatness from within. LeBron symbolized a shortcut, moving until success was easier to find. And with Jordan preparing to speak, Stephen A. believes this will be his rallying cry. The NBA's toughness was traded for comfort, and it all began the moment LeBron took his talents to South Beach.
I may have hurt the league. Fine, I can side with that. Not for the reasons you're articulating. The reason why is when he joined Miami. You had everybody trying to join with one another instead of competing against one another.
Patrick Bet-David adds a sharp perspective to the debate. He argues that what the NBA needs most is toughness, and Michael Jordan is the only man with the authority to call out those responsible for softening the league. On the surface, it's a simple point, but it captures exactly what so many fans and former players feel. Today's NBA may be quicker, flashier, and more skilled in certain ways, but it's also more cautious, less physical, and far less hungry. Players are more connected, more friendly, and far less confrontational. The Jordan era was built on grudges, rivalries, and relentless fire. That edge defined the league. And when Jordan steps forward next season, PBD believes he can reignite it. Jordan doesn't need to fuel hatred. He needs to restore that edge, that sense that basketball is war, not a weekend getaway. And is the only figure powerful enough to say it in a way that makes the entire NBA stop and listen.
We see a level of toughness with the game coming back, and I hope he calls everybody.
Stephen A. leaves no room for doubt. LeBron James is the second greatest player of all time. Period. But Michael Jordan? He is number one, and he always will be. This isn't hate. It's respect for both greatness and truth. Stephen A. makes it clear he isn't here to dismiss LeBron's cultural influence or his work off the court. Those things matter, and he acknowledges them. But when the conversation shifts to pure basketball legacy, Jordan stands alone. 6 championships, 0 finals losses, no begging for superstars to bail him out, no running from the pressure, just dominance through skill, will, and an unmatched killer instinct. That's what sets Jordan apart. And now, with his return to the public stage, this isn't just another media moment. It's history. For the first time in decades, the most feared voice in basketball is stepping back into the spotlight to set the record straight. And once he does, the NBA may never look the same again.
Me is top 2 all time. Now, if you disagree, you disagree. Where I get annoyed is when somebody's acting like I'm hating or disrespecting.
LeBron James has given the NBA legendary moments, jaw-dropping highlights, and unforgettable performances, but the cracks in his legacy are starting to show. The culture he helped shape is now under fire, and the greatest of all time is preparing to step in. Michael Jordan isn't just returning to TV. He's returning to reclaim the narrative. Stephen A. Smith is certain that Jordan will call it like it is, exposing everything from the lack of toughness in today's game to the lasting impact of LeBron's career decisions. And if Jordan chooses to hold back, Stephen A. promises he'll be there to push the truth out into the open. So the question is, when the GOAT speaks, is the league ready to listen? Smash that like button, subscribe to NBA Showdown, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Is the NBA ready to face Michael Jordan's truth?